My journey. I'm willing to explain it all to you guys. No holding back anything. I just hope you're ready for the experience. And I just hope you can handle it. What's going on, everyone? So, I want to talk about I was just making a video and I wanted to make another video and I want to talk about jealousy and envy and how jealousy and envy can destroy your soul. Now, jealousy is obviously much worse than envy, but I still think that envy is a trait that we need to try to get rid of. Now, personally in my life, I personally have gotten rid of envy. Um, I've gotten rid of jealousy. These are little traits that I used to have in myself. I used to look at someone and get jealous, or used to look at someone and get envious, or, you know, and envy can turn into jealousy. Um, just like HIV can turn into AIDS. But HIV is not AIDS, and envy is not jealousy. But I do think that they're both kind of toxic for our mind and body because as humans, it's almost like we could look at ourselves as cells. Okay, look at it as planet Earth itself is like a big ass human being. And let's look at it like, okay, this is a big ass human being, and on the human being, inside of it, we have cells that flow through us, right? We are the cells that flow through Mother Earth. So I think that being that what happens if cells don't communicate inside of your body? If cells don't communicate, you can get cancer. If like I don't know, if cell doesn't die or if cells like mutate, don't communicate, don't whatever, don't work together, they can genetically mutate and they can die and they can cause cancer, they can cause so many issues, right? So I think that instead of us getting jealous of each other, we need to encourage each other. But we have this huge issue because our ego gets involved. It's like it doesn't matter what community you're in, it doesn't matter what you're doing, what industry you're in. We need to get rid of this envy and jealousy thing because instead of being jealous of each other, why don't we realize what first off, it's almost like we don't realize what we're being jealous of. Okay? So many people would be jealous of someone, but don't realize, you know, what they're being jealous of because they don't realize what it took for that person to get that. So I could just use success as an example. Everyone is I can't say it. So many people are fucking jealous of the person who's successful. Jealous, I hear it all the goddamn time where people are like talk shit about the CEO, the rich CEO, and how it must be nice and whatever. And then people say, that they don't even have to really work, they don't have to work that hard. And this is my argument with that is that I think people are just being jealous. And I think that, and it's like you're being jealous of the reward, but you're not jealous of the hard path it took to get that reward. You know, why is everyone so jealous of, I want to be successful, that should have been me, all this other shit. But then it's like, okay, well, why don't you do what that person does then? You'll you'll get probably a similar result if you do what they did. But do you know what they did? Most people don't know what the fuck they did to get successful. Most people sit there and judge someone based on the fact that they have something that they want, whether it's a behavior, a mindset, a physical item, something. They're just jealous because they want what that person has, but they don't realize that most people don't have what it takes to get what that person has, which is why you're jealous, which is why you're envious, which is why you sit there and think to yourself, oh, that should have been me, that could be me, then why isn't it you? If it should have been you, then it would be you. It will be you. But it must not have been, it must not have, that's probably not how it was meant to be then, because that's not what is. And main reason is because most successful people aren't sitting there complaining about other people who are successful. They're just worried about what the fuck they're doing. Who gives a fuck what everyone else is doing? Like, I don't know. I want everyone, this is my thing though. Personally, me, I want everyone to be successful. That's one of the reasons why I chase my dreams the way I do. Not because I think that it's like, yeah, if I do this, I'm going to get successful and I'm going to be able to get my goal. It's like, no. It's more because I want people in the fucking world to see that we should be chasing our dreams. I want people to see another option. I want people to see it's like this is how I live my life, right? This is my journey to success. My journey to becoming like in the beginning it was a journey to become a modern day shaman. But even that was very complex and hard. I had to do, psychedelic experiences hundreds of times. I had to dive deep. I had to lose my fucking mind. I had to regain my mind. I had to question myself. I had to break myself down. There's so many things I had to do in order to do that. And it's like people just get jealous of oh, this guy claims he's a shaman, and oh, this guy, well, why the fuck are you being envious or jealous? Why don't you look at the big picture and realize you could do the same thing? It's just people are jealous of the end result. They're not jealous of the path that it took to get there because they're not even being observant to realize that this path is available for anyone to walk. Anyone and everyone. Anyone can go, anyone can use psychedelics. Anyone, it doesn't matter if they're illegal or not. I mean, so many people do illegal shit. It's like, most people fucking still download illegal fucking movies. That's still illegal, it's like, so it's like anyone can do these things. You can go out and start your own business right now and become an entrepreneur. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. The only thing that's stopping you is you. The only thing that's stopping you is the fact that you're sitting here jealous and envious of what that person has, but you're too goddamn scared to do what they did to get that. And that's the issue. Instead of being jealous and judgmental of what people have, why don't you realize how hard it fucking was for them to get what they have? Yeah, you can look at you can use the excuse of, what about the people that were handed things? What about them? Why the fuck are you thinking about them? Who gives a shit? What the fuck? Yeah, some people were handed things, but they weren't. People get jealous and envious. Why? Because you're jealous because your fucking father was lazy and didn't work his fucking ass off, so you can fucking have be a trust fund baby. Like this is what the fuck I mean. Like people are envious and jealous of the way everyone is. It's like at some point in someone's life, eventually you have to fucking take responsibility because yeah, you're jealous of the rich kids that grew up rich, but it's like you don't realize that either their father had to work his ass off, or their mother, or their grandmother, or their grandfather, or their great grandmother, or their great grandfather. Someone started from the fucking bottom and eventually made their way up for their family to benefit their family, their great grandkids, and their great 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 grandkids. Because we talk shit about all these, rich kids that were born into royalty. It's like, well, eventually, if you look down the line, eventually someone had to step up and say, fuck, I'm gonna do what the fuck it takes, no matter what. They weren't jealous of other people. They weren't worried about other people. They were just worried about themselves and what they needed to do. And I think that we just need to worry about ourselves. Stop being like, this is my thought process. How can you be envious of someone if you don't know anything about what the fuck they're doing? You couldn't. You wouldn't know them. You wouldn't know them enough to be jealous of them. So that's the way I look at my life. I try to not give a fuck or pay attention to what anyone else is doing. Because yeah, people are doing similar things than me, but I'm gonna make sure they don't fucking, push as hard as me. That's just my thing. But I don't even pay attention to what the fuck they're doing. So my thought process is I want everyone to succeed. I genuinely do. I think people fake it like they want people to succeed, but they're just bullshitting. But in behind the scenes, behind closed doors, they're fucking hating. They're hating on you. They're wishing you will fail. They'll be friends in your face saying, yeah, you could do it, but then talk to their fucking, spouse at night saying, oh, yeah, he's not going to do it. He's fucking crazy. Whatever. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's going to fail. Yeah, I don't give a shit. That's because you're jealous. And instead of being jealous, why don't you work on your life? Because if you worked on your fucking life, then there'd be nothing to be jealous of because you'd actually have a good life. But if you're jealous of someone, then that means you're not doing what you should be doing. You're worried about what they're doing. Who gives a fuck what they're doing? Who gives a fuck about the successful guy that worked his ass off from the time he was in his late teens until he was, in his late 30s, and then finally made it successful in his late 30s because he fucking worked his ass off for years? Be jealous of that. Are you jealous? Like, this is my thing about with me. Like, I get a lot of people that say, they're, somewhat jealous or envious or whatever, whatever. And like I said, envy is okay because it's not full blown jealousy yet. But just like HIV and AIDS, you still get rid of that envy before it turns into jealousy. Um, so my thought process is, there's a lot of people that are like jealous of me. Like, I don't know, I the way I do my shit, right? But they don't see behind closed doors. They don't see that right now it's 2:48 a.m. in the 2:48 in the fucking morning. I haven't been to bed. I woke up at like 4 in the morning earlier, like yesterday. So I've almost been up 24 hours. Like, people aren't realizing that this is the life of someone who's like, I'm not even successful, right? In other people's eyes. But I'm writing a book. I'm making videos. I'm trying to drop a video every single day now. I'm trying to like do so much shit, right? And it's like people are jealous of the motivation, but they're not jealous of what it actually takes for me to get that motivation. Like, I'm very selfless when it comes to my motivation. That's what drives me. Being selfless, like doing it for my kids, doing it for my family, doing it for my friends, doing it for, the people around me, not doing it for myself, because if I do it for myself, I will not push as hard. I won't have as much motivation, because if I do this for my kids, then I'm doing this, so like I don't want to let them down. I want them to be proud of me. I want them to see what it's like to actually chase success, not this delusion that people think, but what it's actually like to chase your fucking dreams. How hard it is, the hard path. I want them to see that shit, so then they realize there's nothing to be fucking jealous about. What are you jealous of? Are you jealous of the fact that I get 4 hours of sleep a night? Are you jealous of the fact that, I don't get to watch movies? I don't get to, I don't know, I don't even know what the fucking game Fortnite is. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Because, like, are you jealous of that? I don't know what that is. Are you jealous that I don't have time to be on Facebook? Are you jealous that I dedicate my life to, like, writing at least for an hour a day, reading, audiobooks, for at least an hour a day, doing 50 push ups every morning? I jogged like 3 miles today, fucking like, this is the shit I'm talking about. You know how hard this shit is to do? People don't realize how complex life is. Do you like it's so fucking hard. Like, I gotta edit the podcast after this, and it's 3 in the morning. I gotta edit the podcast. I gotta fucking there's so much shit I gotta do. I gotta do another podcast either tomorrow or the next day, and it's like I'm just doing so much. But instead of being jealous of what it seems like people have, why don't you look at what they really have, which is they had to make sacrifices in order to get what they have. I had to give up sleep in order to make this video. I had to give up more sleep in order to edit my podcast. I gotta, wake up early because, I gotta get my daughter tomorrow. And it's like, I gotta, there's just so much shit that goes on in my life. And it's like, I guarantee it's 10 times harder for every other, like, for a successful entrepreneur. It's probably 10 times harder, and it's like, but I just see that. That's why I'm not jealous of anyone. I'm proud of everyone. If you're an entrepreneur, I'm genuinely proud that you're fucking doing your thing, you know, because it takes balls to be able to chase your fucking dreams. It takes balls. It takes guts. It takes fucking goddamn. Sometimes it takes you to be fucking insane and a little delusional in order to chase your dreams, because you got to be slightly delusional to actually think that this is gonna fucking work. And I like me, I believe that it's gonna work because it already has. But that's just a mindset that I tell myself. That instead of saying I want to be something or I wish I was something, say I am something. If you say you are, I am are some of the two most powerful words that exist. So I just think that figure out who you are and worry about yourself. Don't be jealous of what everyone else has, because then actually think to yourself, what are you being jealous of? You're only jealous of the end result because you're too focused on the dopamine rush. You're too focused on short-term gain, which is like insecurities, right? When you're focused on the short term, you're usually very insecure. When you're focused on the long term and don't give a fuck what people think about you, you usually have a high self-esteem, because it takes a high self-esteem to really genuinely not give a fuck what people think about you. And like, instead of being jealous of successful people, instead of being jealous of the rich, instead of being jealous of the people who are, living their dreams or chasing their dreams or have motivation or dedication, whatever, look at what it took for them to actually get that. and then realize there's nothing to be jealous about. Because I guarantee you wouldn't be jealous of doing hard work. Are you jealous of a man who, let's say there's a man who runs a marathon. Are you jealous that that man ran a marathon? Probably not, because you're probably like, dude, what the fuck? I would never do that. Because that's success in its whole. Everyone wants to cross the finish line, but nobody wants to run the damn marathon. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are fucking amazing. Get jealousy out of your heart and soul.